Hello everyone, in today's video I'm going to be speaking about my life in Australia. What went well, what could have been better, what did I really learn from them and what I did not want to learn from them as well. Let's get started. I left India in the year 2006 and I reached about in February. I was starting my life in a new land. First time I was ever climbing a flight. First time I was ever in a foreign land, and I didn't have any family. It was just me and my best friend who were together landing in Australia. Now the first thing was we had to find a place to live. We just had $2,000 with us. We had to use that to find a place to pay the advance and the rent for a place. We rented a 2-bedroom apartment. The rent was about $2,000 and the advance was $2,000. So we basically paid all the money we had to get into the apartment. When we went to the apartment, we did not have any furniture, nothing, just some vessels we had taken from India. So the first thing that I really noticed was, unlike in India where when you move into a new place, your neighbors are coming and offering you coffee, tea, lunch, breakfast, whatever, there no one really cares about who is living next door. You could literally stay for weeks and months and years and you would just not know your neighbors. So when we went there, we were expecting people to be coming and helping us. It wasn't the case. And the first night, we just slept on the floor with no bed, no pillows, nothing. It was very scary feeling for the first 2 or 3 months. And there wasn't a day when I used to be sitting and crying, thinking, what have I done to my life? Why did I come all the way to a new country? Because back in India, the parents take care of everything for us. Your dad is paying your bills, your school fees, your food, everything. Your mom is cooking and cleaning and helping you out with everything. This was completely new. But the first thing that I really loved about living there was learning to live by myself, learning to be independent, learning to pay the bills, starting to find ways to make money, to survive myself. I had whole day of college from Monday to Friday, and mornings and late nights I had to find part-time work to sustain myself. This is what most foreign students do. Unlike maybe people living there, they do that as well, by the way. People, in fact kids as young as 16 years old are encouraged to do part-time job and start earning money so that they know how to handle money. We don't do that in India. So that's one thing I really liked in Australia, which is probably same for any developed country culture like Europe, US, UK. It could be very similar. So people who are looking at going to these countries can also watch this video. And hey, by the way, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to watch my other fantastic videos as well. Now continuing on, we had to find part-time jobs. So I did all sort of jobs. I mentioned in some of my podcasts as well. I worked in car washing, Indian restaurants, call centers, cleaning properties, houses, whole lot of jobs I have done, which really started making me feel that I need to value everyone, not by the job they do, but who they are as a person. I vividly remember when I was traveling in the train every day to my work and college, there used to be a person sitting next to me, and that person happens to be working in a bar as a bar dancer. Now in India, if you tell somebody you're a bar dancer, they look down upon you. But this person was very proud of the job that she was doing, and we became good friends where I appreciated and respected her for what she did. I really love this about the developed countries where they don't judge you by all these things. They just respect you and they are always willing to help you as well. So living by myself, making money and handling my money was the first thing I learned. The second thing I learned, as I said, was respecting people for whatever they do, but just by the way they behave with yourself. The third thing that I really liked was when you are trying to find a job and you go and ask people, they are really helpful. Whatever small jobs that you want, they would help you out to figure out things as well. This is something I really found that people were in general warm and friendly. Overall, Australia is a country of migrants. A lot of people came from out of Australia to live there and make a life. So they are relatively expat friendly. Of course, there are incidents of racism, which I will talk about in a bit, but that can happen anywhere in the world as well. The other thing I really liked about my college education was there was a lot of practical theory being taught, theory in a practical way being taught. So we had to go to a lot of companies finding internship ourselves. Now when you have to find the internship yourself, you have to learn selling skills. You learn how to sell yourself. You learn to sell your abilities, your knowledge, your skill. And I really developed myself a lot, my communication skills, my networking skills, my ability to convince people to find an internship. These are things I really cherished, and I really developed myself as a human being and as a person. The other thing that I really liked about is free thinking. You are allowed to think and do what you want. You're not being handheld by your parents all through your life. One of the most funniest incidents was when one of my friends told me that his parents are coming from another city to meet him, but they were living in a hotel and not living with him.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
You know, this will never happen in India, but there it is quite common, and it's, for me, of course, I wouldn't do that to my parents, but I found that very interesting, where they all believe in their own individual life and individual freedom. It can be a good thing or a bad thing the way you take it, but I think we should just take the good part of being independent to make your living and make your life. You're not dependent on your parents all the time, all through your life. Pretty much after 18 years old, you have to get out of the house and live on your own. Though there are certain families where they don't do that, but in many families they do want the kids to go out and live their life as well. And the parents are not always pushing the kids to study engineering or doctor or lawyer or whatever, right? You as a kid can choose what you want to study, and the parents will support as much as they can. The whole country is developed around these kind of principles. I find that there is also strong family values. Of course, the values that they define may be slightly different to how we define. I once, when I was working in a call center, there was a particular lady who was single. She was about 35, 36 years old, not married. She didn't, her father had divorced mother, and he was having a different family living 2 streets away in a very wealthy way, but she did not have a lot of money. That doesn't mean that her father helped her, She still had to live life by herself and learn to improve and work on herself and develop further. These are some of the really good things that I really liked. The independence, the fact that you have to learn to live your life, the fact that you get a lot of practical exposure, you work part-time jobs, make money, and you make a living. So these are the nice things. What are the not so nice things that I really didn't enjoy a lot? I had one incident of racism. Now again, I don't categorize it as everybody in Australia is racist, but there are people like that. And one thing I learned is I started feeling sorry for the people who were racist on me. I thought that you aren't educated and civilized enough to understand that you are treating me this way. So you should be the one who should be working hard to become a better person, and I shouldn't be ashamed of where I come from and what I do. This, of course, in many countries like India, we do it within our own people, being casteist and, religion and the kind of structure you have, rich, poor, all these kind of things we have experienced. Of course, things are changing in India, which is great. And I really hope that we don't continue this kind of behavior. And for all of you watching this video, please do not believe in segregating people based on religion, caste, male, female, rich and poor, LGBT, people with disabilities. We have to embrace all kinds of diversity. And this is something in general you will see in Australia. People do embrace all kinds of diversity. You will even find that hotels, homes, hospitals, everything is prepared for the disabled people to even enter. Of course, this small incidence of racism I didn't enjoy, so that's one thing. The second thing is this whole thing of the family values, right? Like where they think the kids have to go out of the house, and the way they show affection is not selfless like India. Maybe it's not such a bad thing as well, but I do find that we are more emotionally attached to our family and parents. Even if we fight and argue, we still will talk to them. But there you will sometimes feel and find people don't talk to their parents if they don't get along with them as well, which is fine and perfectly normal. By the way, one more thing that I forgot to mention, the good thing is they don't come and ask you, are you married? Do you have kids? What is your salary? These are common things we ask in India, but they don't ask personal questions. It's considered personal, so they don't ask you these things, which is something I really liked as well. overall, there's not a lot of negative things, I would say, right? There's a lot of good things we can learn from them. Of course, they have very strong habits of getting drunk a lot, habits of drugs, alcoholism, extramarital affairs. And the good thing is, they do it not very coy, they do it openly. Whereas in India, we have double standards, right? We'll be doing it all behind the scenes, but we will portray that we are all perfect, like, Lord Rama or something. There, they do it a bit openly as well, but here we do it in the back. So I would say the good thing is, at least they do it openly, but the bad thing is they do a lot of it, and it's kind of the culture as well. So let's take the good part of it, which is being honest and truthful and not doing things behind the scenes. So overall, these are some of the good things and not so good things I liked about living in Australia. Overall, I had a fantastic experience. The life in Australia changed me. I can almost say before Australia and after Australia, my life. And that's what I want to share with all of you today. Thank you so much for watching the video. Till I see you next time, stay fit, stay positive, keep chasing obscene success. Thank you.